Mike, we've just exited the County Cup, losing 11-0 to a Tier 3 Halifax FC Women, who've progressed to the semi-finals. We've lost 11-0. What are your thoughts on the game?
Well, obviously it's disappointing to lose any game, but to put it into perspective, we never really came here with the ambition to win, but we had the dream of potentially doing a giant killing and living in that moment of what cup games can be. And it was a fair result at the end of the day against a very, very good Tier 3 Halifax side.
The weather was, and this is going to be an understatement, atrocious. The storm hit as kick-off started. High winds sweeping across the pitch. Heavy rain through most of the game. How did that affect any plans or the play?
Well, it was a perfect storm, wasn't it? A really perfect storm. I think we made the decision to play with the wind in the first half, which didn't quite go to plan, but with the right emphasis on the game plan. And then in the second half it just picked up a notch, and it was just like being in a complete storm at sea. It wasn't nice, it wasn't pretty. It was very much reminiscent of our County Cup exit last year, so it was kind of a bit of a deja vu. But that was just one of the other challenges we had to face with the weather, but same for both sides.
I mean, realistically, we knew coming into this game there was no chance of winning the game on paper, but in parts of the game, certainly in the first half, certainly matched Halifax.
Yeah, the ladies matched them. They applied themselves really well in the first half. Could have done without conceding a goal after about 60 seconds. But that kind of threw a bit of a game plan and out the window. But we matched them. We were aggressive. We were trying to find people on the counter, and we limited them to many chances in the first half, which is credit to the ladies. It was just a shame that there's two halves of football to play.
I mean, it must have been a dream to, it sounds a bit strange to say, must have been a bit of a dream to go in only 3-0 down at half-time against Halifax.
Yeah, I mean, it was a dream, but the first two goals came from our mistakes, switching off, especially the first one. It's a ball played out by their right back over the top of our full back, and their left-sided winger has run across to the front of three people before actually getting to the ball that she never looked likely to win, and then tapped it into an empty net. So the first couple of goals we were like, how? We've just switched off, and that was the disappointing part of it. Maybe it was a little bit down to a new system where we were low block and they weren't quite used to that, but we were kind of caught a little bit cold. But credit to us, we changed the shape back to 4-3-3 and we looked our normal selves. Looked solid, looked a little bit of a threat on the counter, and 3-0 at half time was that was quality from the ladies. Quality.
I mean, throughout the whole game, every single player has acquitted themselves really, really well. When you get to the final whistle and it's 11-0, and yes, it did accelerate a little away a little towards the final whistle. What were your thoughts going through your mind? Well,
the second half we just, we kind of lost a couple of players early doors through knocks, and that was always going to be a probably risk, because we were playing a little bit of players that shouldn't have played 50-50s, and the shape was completely out of kilter. Players playing in positions that they were alien to and asked to do a job, and Halifax made the extra players count. They played some really, really good, simple yet effective passes, and then there were some intricate reverse passes on third player runners which we couldn't pick up. They tended to cut through us. I wouldn't say at will, but quite regular at times, just through simple passing and clever movement. And teams like this at Tier 3, that's what you're going to get. That's the standard. That's where we want to be. There's something we want to reach to and try to get to. So for us, it was good to see them play. It was good to see how they did it, and on a different day it might have been single digits instead of double, but
yeah.
I think we're against it.
Well, we'll come back to what you've just said, but talking about the injuries, any updates?
Yeah, Kathleen, she took an injury against Bradford City. Inoki was 50-50 in that game and never played the rest of the game, and lightly trained on Thursday. And it looks like it's just a reoccurrence of that knock on the ankle. So we'll assess her again on Thursday. It might be that she needs a couple of weeks rest. Beth Paget went down awkwardly after just a little bit of a glancing header defensively, and then landed awkwardly on the knee, and it just buckled, which is always one of them bad ones that you worry about. It's swollen up. It does feel stable, which is good, but there is pain behind the kneecap, so she's going to get checked out. But again, it might be a case that she's missing for a couple of weeks. But we'll see what A&E say, and we'll see what Emily the physio says on Thursday's session.
Okay. Right, going back to what you just said before, we came here, and one of the things I suppose that we're all keen to do is to learn about how a team is set up and organised and play at Tier 3, because ultimately, as you say, that's our aim is to get promoted and push for that sort of level if we possibly could. So what's the immediate thoughts of what you've learned from today's game?
It's more realistic what the players have learned about watching players in their positions, on how they get on the ball and how they keep it moving, and they keep it moving really early and simple. These are things that we practice in training week in, week out, where it just needs to be a bit sharper, and people need to believe in their passing ability. And it was just simple to watch and so effective. Playing forward when we can, playing into space and not to feet, and using the players who were 5 or 10 yards apart and just picking teams apart, but having that composure to start again and keep it moving. There's loads that we can learn off it, but it's not something that we're completely alien to, because against some teams in the league we play, we look like that. Yeah. It's just accelerating through the levels and then realising that the players just need to be a bit more switched on, sharper mindsets, and know what they're doing with the ball before it's even come to them. And it's just getting them into that psyche of that's what we need to be, and that's where we're going.
Okay. The favourite part of the interview, obviously no goals today, but player of the match.
Well, first and foremost, every player who pulled on the shirt today did the club proud. They all put in a shift against a very good side, didn't see too much of the ball, but kept working hard defensively in their shape and giving 100% to the cause. And for that, they deserve a lot of credit, and that's the minimum that we require. But one that stands slightly out than all the rest was the person who put her body on the line several times, last minute tackles, really tenacious, and to be fair, distribution at times today was really good. And I'm going to go with Sarah Parks for player of the match.
Excellent choice. Well, sort of congratulations on the team playing so well, but commiserations for being knocked out at the quarterfinals. One better or two better next time?
Definitely. Look, year on year we've got to get better. I mean, last year we went out at round 3. This year it's the quarters. Semi-finals next year?
Absolutely.
Let's see.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.